Hey everybody, happy Friday. And to the Australians down below, I see you. Happy Saturday morning. This story, I always like to talk about connective tissue, how everything is interrelated, connected, and it's important to understand what these connections are. But this one today is really bizarre. This is a complex tapestry of bags and billionaires and Bitfinex and Bitcoin and what other B's are in there? Bitdeer, Bhutan. Wow, a whole bunch of B's. I've never had so many B's in one video in my life. So let's jump in. And thank you all for coming. What am I going to talk about? What a week. It has been a mind-blowing week from so many perspectives. We're just going to jump into it and see where it takes us. And this is not financial advice. Oh, this video is titled Digital Scarcity Playbook. Orange pilling. Who's doing what out there? Fascinating. Shout out to Patreon. Make all this possible every single day. Awesome alpha, as always, from Music Lover X21. Thank goodness I'm a Patreon member. So grateful. I'm very grateful you are here too. We've got the best, literally, by far, the best finance community on the planet. No doubt. Bitcoin monthly returns. We just got above, literally, 64,100 as we speak. We're exactly where we were yesterday, down 3.8% for the month of June. Got more in July. No, madness. That shows you the week. It takes its toll on this little noggin up here. Let's get into the news. Ton of stuff to cover. Fascinating stuff. We got 48 nuggets today, which is very big for a Bitcoin daily. But remember, we're going beyond Bitcoin. We're going into Bitcoin and everything adjacent to it, including proxies, miners, MicroStrategy, assemblers, you name it. But just breaking down some quick bits for the week. The Bitcoin breakdown. Central banks, apparently from Bhutan, Burkina Faso, and in full disclosure, I have no idea where Burkina Faso is. If you know, let me know. I haven't had time to Wikipedia it. French Guiana, Iran, and Venezuela said to be buying up Bitcoin. Okay. Javier, friend of the channel, announces a plan to allow free competition of currencies in Argentina, saying that if you want to use Bitcoin, there will be no problems. And that guy has gone to the whole government structure with a chainsaw. Or whatever the word is, I don't know what he uses, but just burning the place down, which is wonderful. MicroStrategy bought another 12,000 Bitcoin, nearly $800 million. Again, they only tried to fill 500, and they were oversubscribed by another $300 million. It's the infinite money glitch, and he's paying 2% on that debt out to 2032. You borrow the melting ice cube to buy something hard that gets harder every day. It's just a no-brainer. Now people are beginning to cop onto it, which is super interesting. Thank you as well, TNT Tesla, Sean Donnelly, and Cage for being here, keeping us all safe. Now, speaking of one of the bees, Bhutan. This is interesting. Not only is apparently the central bank of Bhutan stacking, I'll get to the country stacking in a minute, but there is a miner called Bitdeer. Bitdeer is interesting to me because it also does HPC. I didn't mean for that to rhyme, by the way. And a deep analysis will come soon, probably next week. But Bitdeer's energy capacity to be completed by the end of 2025 is supposed to go to 60 exahash. And they're going to be working in places like Norway, Ohio, Texas, and Bhutan. Bhutan is interesting because I underlined the purple Bhutan news site and the amount of exahash they're going to stick there. Nearly 30 exahash in Bhutan, which is crazy. So I asked myself, okay, 60 exahash from where they are right now, about 9. That's a big jump, or 7 I think it was. But this is from the miner model here. Let's see where they stack up. If Bitdeer can move their hash from 7 to 60, that'd be nearly 800% growth. That'd be more growth than anybody else, and that would make them the top miner on the planet. That is unbelievable. So the question is, can they do it? Well, they have a few aces in their hole. They make their own rigs, which is also very special. And they're involved in AI compute inference. So we'll be digging more into them later. Now, getting back to what's going on in the Bitcoin world, the Michaels are scheming. This is a quick little thread that was public on Twitter. Michael Dell, back in 2021, talks about how he started Dell, etc. Then Michael Saylor 12 hours ago posts Bitcoin is digital scarcity. And then obviously Michael Dell and Michael Saylor connected and they talked about plans, etc. Dell tech team and Hoptington or wherever that is. But the point is, they're talking, they've been connecting. Anybody who sits down with Michael Saylor gets what's called orange pilled. And this is what's interesting about the story today. So let's talk about this. Michael Saylor, he says Bitcoin is digital scarcity. And Michael Dell reposted. Not only that, then Michael Dell pops up the Cookie Monster. And he said, just in from Bitcoin Magazine, Dell CEO and billionaire Michael Dell posted this picture of the Cookie Monster eating Bitcoin. You don't, when you're a billionaire like that, you can play around and have fun, but you definitely don't want to destroy your character by misleading people. So odds are they're going to snack some. Now, he also is very active on Twitter all of a sudden. Hey, Moto, thank you for coming. Michael Dell is asking questions. What will be the next big breakthrough in technology? And AI, blockchain, etc. Blockchain 1, of course, which is interesting because I didn't expect that coming from Michael Dell's audience. But that's exactly how fast things are changing. Either way, I'm positioned in both AI and blockchain. So what's going on? All right, we got random billionaires by the name of Michaels, and they're stacking Bitcoin. This is from Bitcoin for Freedom. Me trying to stack Bitcoin in peace, and then random billionaires named Michael start to eat it all. It's funny that this came up just a few hours ago because yesterday my video was entitled How 12,000 whole coiners were just denied by Michael Saylor stacking 12,000 Bitcoin. Okay, it just eliminates the possibility, as the whales get bigger and they suck more out, it makes it harder and harder for retail investors to become whole coiners, which is part of the reason why I started this whole channel in the first place. Let's compare these two Michaels. This is from Uncle Fred Krueger. He just posted this. Michael Saylor has a net worth of nearly $120 billion. Michael Saylor, around 5 or 6 billion. It's kind of, when you see the chart like that, it's kind of disturbing. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Dell is the 14th richest man on the planet. But let's share this from Hodl 15 too. The billionaires who own Bitcoin. This is a who's who's list of very smart people. You got the Larry Ellisons, the Zuckerbergs, Elon Musks, CZs, you name it. Oh, Michael Saylor, Jack Dorsey, the Winklevee, Paul Tudor Jones, Stan Druckenmiller. Again, solid people who own Bitcoin. Even Tim Cook, Apple is there. So, or some people call him Tim Apple. That was funny when I hear that. Anyway, you want to be where the billionaires are, okay? That's follow the big money. Now, then Bitcoin Therapist comes out and says, founder and CEO of Dell Technologies, Michael Dell, is the majority shareholder owning 60% of the stock. Dell is sitting on $6 billion in cash. Now he's posting about Bitcoin. Is he going to do another MicroStrategy playbook? We'll see. We also know, there's a little putting the connective tissue together, there are 3 Amigos. We know that Michael Saylor helped Elon Musk acquire $1.5 billion in Bitcoin back in 2021. That was also an open thread on Twitter way back when. I remember saying, Elon Musk was like, can I really just buy $1.5 billion? And of course, Michael Saylor showed him the playbook as to how to do that. And I'm pretty sure maybe Michael Saylor is doing the same thing now at Michael Dell in the bottom right-hand corner. And even more bizarre news, Dr. Sauce, thank you for coming. Elon Musk is building a massive, giant GPU center in Austin, Texas. These are huge, ginormous 6 fans that are going to be put as part of the cooling system, kind of a mega cooling system. And guess who's building the racks for Tesla AI, Grok AI, XAI for Elon Musk? The answer is Dell AI. So Dell are doing this in conjunction with NVIDIA and other things too. So again, all kind of connected. But there's more. We're going to come back to this in a minute. But first of all, we're speaking of cooling. We also have to talk about heating. Marathon is now warming a town of over 11,000 people in Finland using heat from Bitcoin mining. So well done, Finland. considering the Norwegians are still challenged about the ESG impact of Bitcoin mining. Now, hopefully the Norwegians will be able to look across at the finish and say, oh, maybe we should try that too. Again, we shall see. Standard & Chartered as well, another news. We're still on the news. We haven't even gotten to the charts yet. But British multinational bank Standard Chartered is creating a Bitcoin and Ethereum trading desk in London, according to a report from Bloomberg. This will make it one of the first global banks to enter spot crypto trading in the wake of spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs being approved in the US and ETPs in London and all over the world. And it'll be part of its Forex trading unit. So this is more excitement, more avenues to more adoption. Not just the billionaires stacking, but others too. And not everybody's stacking though. Germany, I covered this yesterday briefly. Yesterday, Germany sold $200 million in Bitcoin, which they seized from a piracy site. You know, wouldn't it be good to be in government, just be able to take people's Bitcoin and then sell it? I wonder what they're going to do with the money. And then they sold another 125 million today. So now the sales are $325 million. Bitcoin plunged a little bit, but remember, it's holding up really strong, above 64,000. Oh, there's an alert. That means I got to go buy something. Oops. But also, sorry, the stream. Just in full disclosure, I lay my traps and charts. That one just popped off. That means I got to go grab something right after the stream. We'll see what it is. I'm not even sure what it is. Anyway, Germany is selling. The wallet can be seen here as to what they're selling. But the big question is, how much do they have left to sell? And the fact that they are selling so much, and as I discovered earlier this week, the hedge funds are unwinding the carry trade. Bitcoin is still hanging around above 64K, which is remarkable. That means somebody else is stacking, and it's not retail. Somebody else. Maybe Michael Dell is already putting his toe in the water. Now, let's get back to countries, because we talked about Germany, we talked about Bhutan, we're doing a little bit of a world tour today, Finland, Norway. But here you see the bags for the countries. US now has 213,000, and they sell about 10, 20, 30,000 every quarter, like clockwork. China have 190,000, UK has 61,000, Germany 50,000, but they've already shaken, I think, about 5,000 in the last couple of days. Ukraine, 46,000. El Salvador, nearly 6,000. Bhutan, 621. Woohoo. And Venezuela, 240. So these countries are stacking. These central banks are stacking. It's proven. And we are so early. But there's more. All right. So Coinbase come out and they say crypto is the solution to $1 trillion being printed by the US government, US Fed, every 100 days. Crypto holders know it's time for an update. Leaders on both sides of the aisle are embracing crypto as part of the solution. So the question is, what will these candidates do? Now, speaking of central banks already putting Bitcoin in the balance sheet, what would happen if the US did? It's a no-brainer. They can just print off the money, print $1 trillion every 100 days, and use that to buy the entire market cap of Bitcoin. It's game theory is going to kick in. We just don't know when. When it does, things are going to go really, really, really wild. I can promise you that. Now, speaking of candidates, which will remain nameless because some people, it kind of can get very heated if I mention any names, but the Winklevee twins dropped 31 Bitcoin on a candidate X who will remain nameless. That's $1 million a piece to the campaign that they obviously believe in. And this triggered some talk. So we have another person, this Bitcoin donation, and it drove some talk of a dollar collapse from this other candidate. And the collapse warning after a huge Bitcoin donation. So obviously he's been rubbing shoulders with a lot of Bitcoiners lately. The team from the All In Pod, the Winklevee twins, head of Bitcoin Magazine, and many others. And they are maybe heads of Coinbase, etc. They're talking about the issues with the petrodollar and treasuries and debt going through the roof. So who knows? Either way, it'll be very interesting next few months. And finally, a fork of Bitcoin, which is called Funcoin, Doggy. Doge. Apparently, Elon Musk and Twitter is coming very close to launching their global payments platform, but to the chagrin of all the Doge holders, it will not include Doge, which is good. I'm not a meme coin person myself. Now let's get into the charts. Interesting charts here. First of all, most importantly, global liquidity is in the cycle and it's on the rise from Marty Party. Here we go. This is what some people refer to as the banana zone. We are early. Bitcoin exactly in the Bitcoin bottom, peaked exactly at the Bitcoin top in history. The top of the liquidity cycle will happen in 2025, and we expect this boomerang thing, liquidity cycle, to pump all of our Bitcoin bags. So we're happy. So stay tuned, stay healthy for 2025. It's going to be a fun year, pretty sure. Also, in hardness news, exchange reserves hit a 3-year low from Crypto Quant. And there's many different ways of measuring this, but this is important, and this contributes to the actual scarcity, especially when we have, let me show you these guys one more time, all the billionaires who are stacking Bitcoin. All right, one sweep of the pen from a Michael Dell, 14th richest person in the world, would literally buy more than 60 million retail investors. So that's how big the big money is. And to prove more that something weird is going on behind the scenes, I'll get to that in a second, but that is the exchange reserves. Not a lot left to buy. In addition, pattern repeats. This is some jelly. I love this chart in so many ways because it's so simple. We did speak about how the previous all-time highs coincide with the current cycle all-time high, which happens about 3 years later. And we are currently at phase 3. This is, first of all, we hit the all-time high fake out. Then there's a pullback. We had the pullback. We're in the middle of the pullback. And then we struggle to reclaim the all-time high. We're in the struggle section now. After that, there's the breakout and bull run begins in earnest. Every single cycle, it's the same as proven here. A couple of other things to show on this chart is you have the number of days between tops. So from where we are now in the struggle phase to the top, it's 280 days in the 2015 cycle, 2017 cycle. Then in the 2021 bull run, we had 343 days to the top. And right now, how long will we go? Maybe another 280 days at least, which will take us nicely into 2025, which is confluent with the liquidity cycle. So again, nothing but goodness ahead of us now. Okay, nothing. And there is a problem. I talked about this at the beginning. Yes, the whales are stacking. Yes, the hedge funds are doing carry trades. But retail has not entered the building yet. In this bull cycle, Bitcoin is yet to experience periods of increased demand from retail and new investors. But this will happen. Historically, it always happens, but it happens a little bit later. And this chart also is from Crypto Quant. So again, if you're in early, enjoy the ride. It's good. Never too late to join, but typically the big money gets in first. Follow the big money. Don't wait until the price is too high. That's not the good time to buy. Speaking of whale stacking, this is also a chart from Bitfinex. The Bitfinex whale has started accumulating again. This is the real Chad, all right? They know when to stack. And for those who believe it's over, no, it's not. This is from Quinten. It's not the time to get bearish at all. Not at all. If you look for the previous cycles, 2012, 2016, 2020, and where we are now, we have a long run to go. Again, wait for that liquidity cycle to kick in. Got to maybe get through the summer first, maybe get through middle of July. We have actually 3 more weeks to get to 90 days after the halving. Then we should start creeping up. Let's see. And shout out to the Australians that are here in the audience. The Australian ETF is buying not a lot, but they just started, but now they added 53 Bitcoin. So at least one ETF is buying. Well, no, IBIT is too. But the other hedge funds that have the carry trade are dumping. And finally, patience is key. A lot of people have very, very, very poor patiences from Mustache. And a lot of people have given up hope. But if you look at where the hammers are, and you look at this rainbow ribbon channel here, we're at the bottom. We're in the green zone. That means this party is going to kick off. And if you've been through previous cycles, you'll know patience is key. You know markets are designed to wreck your head. Don't let them do that. Be patient. Be, as I call, that sniper in the woods with all that camouflage makeup on and deer urine and stuff. Wait. Wait. If your bags are packed, wait. If your bags are not packed, snipe at the opportune times. Also, last time I shared an astrology chart, people went nuts. But I'm going to share this anyway because I don't care. But there is definitely correlation between the full moon cycle. And by the way, it is the June 21st. So that is known as the strawberry moon. It's also the summer solstice. And if you look at histories of full moons, typically the Bitcoin price falls after a full moon. We saw it happen in March. We saw it happen in April. We saw it happen in May. We saw it happen already in June. And we have another one here. And these full moon cycles seem to be a little bit tight. And I can't remember the exact percentage. I think 99% will be illuminated. I'm not sure if that is a full moon because I know nothing about astrology. But I thought this was interesting. Now, the point is, we've already been heavily oversold. Maybe after being heavily oversold, the moon has no longer any impact like it does on the tides in the ocean, which I do know about from sailing. So we'll see. I think that short-term realized price basis holds firm right now. We did dip as low as, let me get this exact price, 63.3 today and shot right back up. We're now 64.3, so we're up $1,000 off that dip earlier today. But remember, when the ETFs dump, which we'll get to in a second, that can bring about short-term time pressure. But then the billionaires come in and they buy. So let's talk about this. This is the new Bitcoin and proxies only playlist. If you're exposed to Bitcoin and or proxies or both, like I am, this is the one for you. Let's get into the black hole. First of all, day 112 since the ETFs launched. Crazy times. And you can see, definitely, considering the size of the selling pressure, especially for Fidelity and Grayscale, you know by their sizes, okay? They're unloading, like, call out the Grayscale numbers. 61, 52, 62, 62, 53. These are hedge funds unraveling their carry trade. On Fidelity, 106, 80.1, 92, 83, 83, 51. It's too uniform to be retail, okay? They are the hedge funds, guaranteed. A week ago, I was pretty sure. Today, I'm absolutely convinced. That's who's selling. But that's also rattling the market. Don't let it rattle you because, again, the billionaires are buying and the whales are buying. This is what the chart looks like. Again, flat, dead, down. But we never go that long with a continued selling period. We have 8 out of 9 red days. Again, all of that is the hedge funds. And it's only a matter of time before the price becomes very compelling to others. And I expect to see Mr. 100 back. Yesterday, 2,158 Bitcoin were added to the system. Again, a lot added. We'll see who is buying real soon. And Grayscale, yeah, the money that came into Grayscale was all dumped again. I knew it would have been a short-term hedge fund playing with their vehicle, and that's exactly what happened. Once the hedge funds have stopped unwinding that carry trade, the bleed will have slowed down dramatically. Okay, so that's the story today. Hope you like all the Bs, the Bhutans, the Bitcoins, the billionaires, the bags, Bitfinex, what else? So many Bs. Thank you all for coming. Hope you enjoy the show, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.